Good morning. It is day 34. We're up and at 'em early. Some of our group left at around 6, maybe 6:30. Some of the group we camp with are going to be leaving around 7. Today is supposed to be the hottest day so far, so we're trying to get some miles in before the sun gets up too high and it starts getting too warm. Luckily the first 5-6 miles today is downhill, mostly, and then we've got a pretty big climb that we're going to try and knock out before the afternoon heat really kicks in, and take a siesta at the top of that big climb before we keep going for the rest of the day. So, you know, we're kind of debating right now between our choices right now are 13.1 or 18 miles to camp. I'm fine for the 13. I just know with how hot it's going to be, we're not going to be able to leave like our siesta spot till like 5-6 o'clock. And 3 miles is much more doable before dark than 8. Not really a big proponent of night hiking unless I have to. So, but anyway, we set up camp not too far back, and we had some of the 100-mile and 100K ultra marathon runners coming through throughout the night, so we just kind of cheered them on. The last ones came through kind of around 12:30. The cutoff was 12:45 a.m. So we're hoping that last group made it down that last mile and a half before that cutoff. Luckily it was all downhill for them, so have not they at least finished. But yeah, anyway, I'll check in later. Alright, just came up on a little cave. It looks like the picture of the little cave, but it's on the maps, but it's not the location of it. But that's fun. I've got about a mile to the water source. I'll take a long break there, and then do a few more miles before our siesta. It's already hot and it's only 9 o'clock. I'm like pouring sweat already. So, check in later. Alright. Update. Got some water. Now have 2.5 miles more of climbing to where I'm taking my siesta spot. It's 11:30. My goal is to be there by 1:30ish. Probably closer to 1:30. I'm just kind of finding any little bit of shade I can, going slow. It's hot. Every once in a while we get a nice little breeze, so that's a nice little break, but just going real slow. I do not do well in the heat, so that'll put us just about 10 miles siesta, and then I'm planning on 3 more after the siesta to camp. 13-mile day is fine with me. You know, some of our group wants to push on and do an 18-mile day, but I might just see them later if that's the case. We'll meet back up with them in Hikertown. I need to go a little bit slower with the heat, so take my time, and I've accepted that. So that's fine. We'll see what today has in store. Oh, am I jealous of all the lakes down here. I wish that we were hiking along those and that I could jump in. But instead, I'm way up here in the desert. And then entering a burn area shortly after this. So I just get hot desert, no water. My few water sources are like cisterns and like water tanks. So I don't know. Got about a mile to my siesta spot. You can kind of look out this way. It's where we're kind of headed. There's some wind turbines down there. And then there's some even farther. I don't know if you can see how far back they go. Back. This will be a few days from now. We're almost at the aqueduct in Hikertown. So today's Sunday. We should be in Hikertown on Tuesday, which is really exciting. So, whew, back to climbing.
I'm uncomfortable. I know. I like lizards. Lizards don't. I don't feel the same about lizards as I do about snakes, which I don't like. Dude, there's some grocery stores. Yeah. Not mile.
All right. So, just took my little siesta in a nice little shaded campsite. And now I'm doing a couple mile road walk to avoid some overgrown poodle dog bush trail. We're in a previous burn zone, and the trail's overrun with poodle dog bush in this area. Despite how hot it is, at least there's like a little bit of a breeze today. So felt okay leaving at 3. So with this road walk and then another little spot where I'm going to cut back onto the road right before camp, mostly just to make it easier. The water source is on the dirt road, so if I take the trail, I go around past the campground that we're camping at, up the hill to the campground, and then I have to climb up the road half a mile to the cistern to get water. And I could just take the road and get water on my way to camp. And that just makes a lot more sense logically. It misses like half a mile of trail is the equivalent, like it cuts it short of half a mile, but that's not bad at all. Just, I know that I'm going to get into camp late anyway, and I don't want to have to go do an extra mile round trip to get water after getting into camp late. So I have about 6.8 to camp tonight. It's 3 o'clock, so we'll be pushing towards dark because it's hot and there's some climbing in here, but hopefully it's not too bad. Water in a few more miles, so check in later. So this is poodle dog bush. It's kind of, some of it kind of dead, but the green leaves coming up the top of it. You can just kind of see that it's all over through here. This isn't even the worst that I've seen yet so far. Well, the trail, like the next campsite, the next water source is just littered with it. You can't camp. You can't really access the next water source because it's just overgrown with poodle dog bush. Luckily, there's still some seasonal streams flowing, so we can go just a little bit farther and get to some water at a seasonal stream. Kind of crosses the trail rather than having to rely on the cistern that's surrounded by poisonous plants. So anyway, this road walk isn't too bad. A couple miles on here. So this is what they mean when they say the trail is overrun with poodle dog bush. Just every direction you turn is more of it. There's supposed to be campsites here. There's also supposed to be a water cistern here. In no way, shape, or form. We're looking for either one of those things in this Hot Mess Express. Well, that was a fun little section to navigate there. Anyway, about a half a mile from camp. It's cooled down significantly. And it's helped the last several miles have been in the shade. So I'm doing all right. Half mile. We'll be there long before 8 o'clock, which is the time I set for myself. Probably close to 7:30. But sun's on the other side of this hill, so it just staying nice and cool on this side, which I appreciate. I'm all over the place with this phone.